Alright, there we go. I think everything's working now. Hopefully. I'm going to apologize in advance. There is still some construction going on outside, and it's driving me mad. But I'm going to do my best to continue on as usual anyway. Because I did not want to miss 3 days in a row of streaming. That would have annoyed the heck out of me. We're just going to wait for another minute or so until these automated ads start trying to kick in so that I can do my own spiel. But thank you for joining me. I'm sorry I was gone for 2 days in a row. If you didn't know, there's a bunch of construction going on outside my house, and it's crazy frustrating. Good morning, Doug. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining. I'm just kind of waiting for the auto ads to kick in here. There we go. Alright. So I'm going to start my spiel, and hopefully we can jump into the game in just a couple minutes. Sit tight for me. There we go. Run 3-minute ad break. And hopefully that works. So, good morning again. Thank you for joining. If you're hearing this message, then you're probably watching on YouTube or a VOD on Twitch. And if so, but you don't want to hear it anyway, you can scrub through the video until this pre-roll screen goes down, or just skip ahead to about 2 minutes and 35 seconds and it will be done. I do this as a means to stop people from getting ads right at the start of the video, so as they join while the stream progresses, they don't have to deal with the pre-roll ads there. But I also don't want them to miss any gameplay. Let's see, so... Oh yeah, if you are watching on YouTube, I would very much appreciate a subscription if you like this kind of long-form content. I try and keep it very chill and laid back, excellent for sleep streams if you're into that. I can't guarantee there won't be a small scream every once in a while, because unfortunately, I am a coward. And I will do my best to avoid that, but just in case. Speaking of being a coward, if you would like to see me live, you can join my Discord, where you can also find a channel for a countdown to horror games, or I guess I call the channel a horror game tracker, wherein if I reach certain viewer threshold averages, or viewer average thresholds, I will play scary games that I really don't want to play, but I will if you guys like it. And that is coming up surprisingly fast for the first one, which is not going to be super fun, but I mean, it might be fun for you. It's going to be terrifying for me. If you'd like to join the Discord, there are links in the bio, both on Twitch and on YouTube. Just make sure you're signed into Discord first, so that it'll take you to my page, rather than taking you to a sign-in page. There are numerous good things going on there, not the least of which is an excellent little community we've got going on. You can chat with me basically at any time of the day. You can try and game with me. I have channels to organize if you want to play with me either on or off stream. I'm good for either. We can work things out. You can also see which games I have and vote on if you'd like to prioritize certain ones. Otherwise, I'll be getting to all of them in due time. And more importantly, if you're having difficulty getting notified of when I go live on Twitch, there is a bot that will notify you if you leave that channel unmuted. Same thing for if I upload a new YouTube video, but I do this for fun, so having you here live would be greatly appreciated. That being said, the ad break is finally done. We are going to turn off the screen so you can stop scrubbing through. And back with the main chat. I see Doug is away for a moment, but when she's back, I will talk to her as well. So, last time, we managed to do a good bit of progress. We scanned 2 alien relics, We built a prawn suit, and we kind of fleshed out our base a little bit. To start with today, I'm going to want to, I think, probably build a scanner room, to be honest. And then I want to finish building this as well. So let's start with the scanner room. 5 titanium, 2 copper, 1 cable. That's not bad at all. We're gonna come put this over here, I think. Oh, that's why. I have to take the hatch off first. I knew that. I might actually put a compartment here as well. Welcome back, Doug. Thank you for joining. We are finally through with the intro, so I can get back to it for you. How are you doing today, friend? Anything fun and exciting happening in your life? Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. It seemed like you were having a rough couple days there for a while, so it's really nice to hear that you're feeling better today. I'm gonna grab a couple of these. And some copper. And I need gold as well. There we go. Well, hooray! I'm glad things with your friend are working out. I know new friends can sometimes be a little iffy whether they'll be good friends or not until you've managed to spend time with them for a while. But I'm super happy to hear that you're having a good time with it. Hopefully this turns out to be an excellent friend for you that you can keep for a long time. I think I told you, actually I don't know. Have you ever been in the room with Ice Cat Brad being here? Because he is actually a lifelong friend of mine. He's my best friend. And I've told this story a couple times, but we actually met when I was 10 years old. Awesome. That sounds like a lot of fun, Doug. I'm happy for you. Okay, well, he shows up every once in a while. Unfortunately, he's more of a mature adult than I am, so he's got like a family to look after, which means he can't join too often. But he is my best friend since I was 10 years old, and that's for better or worse, I suppose. We got into all kinds of shenanigans as I was growing up. But it's always been super nice being able to just, like, have that friend here. And growing up, I didn't really have a lot of friends. I was moving around so much that I didn't get to really have long-term friends until I was about 10 years old. And as it turns out, we've just been friends ever since. So it's been a very nice, long friendship. And I hope that this new friend you made is just as long for you. As you get older, you start to lose friends. You just grow apart, or you move away, whatever the case may be. And it's hard for adults to have friends, to be honest. So I hope that this is a lasting friendship for you. Not just for while you're in close proximity, but for a long, long time. That would be ideal. You say it's sweet, but I've told this story before too. When we met, we actually played Power Rangers, and he punched me in the chest so hard I got winded. And I wasn't allowed to watch Power Rangers after that. Not for a good while, anyway. I think that's how guys bond, though. to be honest. We just kind of fall into habits like that. Alright. That's fair. That definitely seems to be a very male friendship kind of a thing. But it is a valid friendship nonetheless. Calverite, diamond fragment, galena, there we go. Did I not make a door over here? I thought I had. This base is not going to be very well thought out. Hopefully not to the death. I think if you end up dead, that would be a very unfortunate thing. Computer chip and magnetite. Alright. Well, that's dumb. I'm gonna have to go get some magnetite. How do I get the module Mark II? Enamel glass, synthetic fibers, rubies. No, that's magnemite. I think. Or is magnemite the evolution? Because I know there's one where he's the single guy, and then there's the one where he's 3 in 1. But it's been a long time since I've played Pokemon, really. I do not recall off the top of my head. I don't need to make that. There we go. They did that a lot with the original Pokemon, though. So there was, like, Diglett and then Dugtrio, which is just 3 of them put together. And apparently that's an evolution. I always thought that was a funny one that should have been a unique version of evolution where you could just get 3 of them in your party at the same time. What was I about to do here? I needed... What was I doing? Oh, right. I was trying to make the depth module Mark II. This one. So, enameled glass, ruby, synthetic fiber. That's what I'm looking for. Spiral plant clipping. So, you said your rock climbing had been moved, Doug. What day or time did that get moved to? Is it more or less convenient for you now? Because I know you thought it was going to be Wednesday, which is why you wouldn't be able to show up for a stream here. Oh, it just finishes earlier. Okay, that's cool. So it'll still be on Wednesday, but like not at a time that's inconvenient for you? Diamond, okay. Or I suppose I should say inconvenient for my stream. Oh, alright. Well, thank you, Doug. I appreciate you stopping in. I hope you have a good night. And see you, hopefully, either tomorrow or Monday. You know, tomorrow I stream a little later in the day. But take care. Thank you for stopping in. my part, I need to... Oh, don't worry, Doug. I appreciate you making what time for me you can. I hope you have an excellent night. For my part, I need to find some lead. Because I'm unfortunately short on it, and I need some for a lot of things. I'm hoping if I can get some for this depth module, that I can go down and I'll grab the magnetite that I need from way deep down in the depths. There's a very specific place that I know of to get some, but it's deep enough that I don't really want to have free dive to it. It's a little risky and I don't want to lose my stuff. Which is funny considering I'm currently 200 meters down and I'm not even thinking about it. That is absolutely one thing this game did differently, is because of the way the water goes down, you tend to not notice how deep you're going. It's not just large open water spaces like it was in Subnautica 1. There's depth, but there's always things around you as you go down, so there's not really that fear that it'll kind of disappear on you. Here it is. Makes things a lot easier to deal with. Okay, drink that. And the nanoglass needed a diamond. There we go. I think I actually picked up enough quartz while I was out. Yep. Good. Just make it. Excuse me. I hate the way my base is set up right now, where it's just kind of sprawling, however, without too much thought to it. Unfortunately, that's just the way it's got to be for the moment. Alright. So this is the fabrication module, yeah. There's a couple more modules that I want to get on here, so I can just turn this into a mobile base, and then I really only have to come back here to charge it. But for now, just kind of working with what we've got. Oh, I don't know why I did that. I needed to pull it out so that I could get the depth module out of it. This way, I can go deeper than before. Is this one 600 meters? It might be. Upgrade 2. There we go. I think I also am going to need to get some more supplies before I go out, because I am running awfully low on water. The food I don't much care about, but the water is necessary. 650 meters, okay. Let's see, for food I can just come do this. Yeah. And cooked food. That's the great thing about that knife, is it makes it very easy to survive, as long as you've got water. There is actually a fun little module that I might get. Well, hello, Waylord. Welcome back. I'm doing well, thanks. How are you? So nice to see you again. I'm doing pretty well, thank you. It's nice to be online again. I had to take 2 days in a row off, which was not my favorite thing to do. Oh no! What's got you so tired, Waylord? Everything okay? Sorry, just taking a sip of coffee. Go. Okay. My dad called me for a 2 days operation of removing a whole tree and trimming the hedges of the garden. Oh, yeah, okay. That makes absolute sense then, why you'd be tired. That's not even a question anymore. Whoa. Yeah, 4 meters tall means you're definitely up on a ladder. When I was younger, got called to trim hedges that were just a little bit taller than me, like maybe 2 meters tall, and even that was such a full body job that I was sore for a good couple days after. It is not an easy task to do that, and I had to do them with the manual clippers, the ones that are just scissors, because they didn't have an electric or a gas-powered hedge trimmer. I'm guessing if you're that sore, you had to do it the same way. It would have made life much easier and much more fun if I could have done it differently, though. Let me change this battery out. Well, hopefully you're not too sore. How is the case of Oberdin going? Case of Oberdin? That might not be the name of it. But how is Oberdin going? I bet you'll sleep well. That sounds exhausting. We're gonna go over here. Oh, did you already finish it? Because I remember you coming in that day and saying you were playing it, but I didn't know how long the game was. I'm just kind of waiting out for the next Steam sale. It should be 8.5 to 9 hours. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. I believe you. I mean, I have a lot of fun with every game that you recommend to me. I never thought I would enjoy puzzle games, but I have been enjoying the ones that you suggest, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm just kind of waiting for the Steam sale to come on, and I think it should be... in the next week or two that the next Steam sale will happen. It's like a very, very big level of Golden Idol. So by very big level of Golden Idol, you mean it's just one sprawling mystery that you have to piece together, rather than a bunch of smaller ones? I'm just kind of guessing. I don't know. Okay. Because I really like the way that Oberdin, or not Oberdin, that Golden Idol kind of segmented things out and let you figure each scene piece by piece. 60 people? Oh, damn. And is that the entire game? Is you're just trying to figure out this one level with all 60 people? You get a whole story, but fragmented with little scenes. Okay. That's fair, that's fair. This is not where you need to be. I mean, I can't go over here. No, not a clue. I have looked up nothing of it because I figured it would probably be a spoiler. I treat most games that you recommend to me a little bit like Outer Wilds, where the less I know going in, the better. So I'm just, I'm trying not to go too hard into it. Do I have a laser cutter? I do have a laser cutter. Okay, we're gonna put this in here. This isn't what I came out for, but it's what I'm gonna do. I mean, if there's no spoilers involved, then yeah, sure. That's just my big concern, is when when you recommend a game to me, I don't want to spoil it by knowing the plot if this plot has spoilers in it. But since you have played through and know there's not, go for it. I don't mind at all. I might be slightly distracted trying not to die here though, so just be aware. Small bits of text to read, please. Why does it feel like the laser cutter moves slow? Containment, that's good. I can use that to breed things. I'm in here completely not planning to be in here, but I am in here looking for a specific piece of technology. A very specific story-relevant piece of technology. So it's just the Oberdin, a very big ship, went in a travel departing in the UK, never reached their destination, and was declared lost 1 year later in 1802. Okay? So Oberdin is the ship name, got it. And let me know when you're done explaining so that I'm not taking guesses while you're trying to type things out and frustrating you. Because that can happen, especially with the time delay. I don't need an awful lot of this stuff. It's sealed in. I don't have a propulsion cannon. Is there something down here? No, it's not a doorway, okay. I don't really need to cut open supply crates. I will, but I don't really need to. I'm not really sure what's in here. Synthetic fibers. I can make those, I don't need to pick them up. Nuclear reactor, that's pretty good. I know where I can get some stuff for that. Okay. And 4 years later, it came back with nobody on board. You are an insurance agent tasked to go on it to discover what happened, and you're given a pocket watch that allows you to live as a spectator for the last moment of a corpse you find. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Now, out of curiosity, is the... Oh, I will wait. I will wait. Like I said, I would wait. You are also given a drawn image of the full equipage, 60 people, and you are tasked to reveal all their identities and what happened to each of them. Cool. Ah, here we go. The parallel processing unit. That's all. Okay. So, is this like a fictional take on a real event, or is everything a real, a fictional event? Street 75. Okay. Grab this. Because I all fictional. Okay. Well, I wasn't sure because sometimes there are actually weird things like that that happen, where ships show up later with nobody aboard, and just purely curiosity. And sometimes they do things like that, where they'll create fictional stories based upon real events, right? So, Titanic, for example, the movie, was also the real event, but then it had all that other... What is down here? Just titanium. But then it also had all of the fictional stories based around it made. Can I actually get out of here, or am I kind of trapped now? Oh no, this is the way out. Okay, good. Sorry, at the same time that I'm trying to talk and ask questions, I'm trying very hard not to get myself lost inside this ship, because if I get lost, I am absolutely going to die. That's just the nature of wreckage exploring with a small air tank. And I'd really rather not. That would be frustrating. And this is not going to help, of course. Okay, are you all done with helping your dad out, by the way? Like, are you finished with the yard work for the day? I cannot cut that open, okay. Or not just for the day, but are you finished with the yard work so you can finally get some rest? Forced dive suit fragment. I didn't even know that was there. Okay, I desperately need to find my way out or some more oxygen, one of the two. There's some more oxygen. Okay. Ooh, that was close. I might need this. It wasn't a lot of oxygen, but it was a little bit. And hopefully enough to help me find my way out. Oh good, I made it outside. It should be okay because I can take an extra breath here. I absolutely love this air bladder. It is so helpful. The number of times it has saved my bottom is not few, to be sure. Let's see. I think there might be another scannable thing in here still. And actually, can I make that reinforced dive suit? Is a good question. No, I need 2 diamonds. I'd have to go pick some up. Otherwise, I could make it, which would be nice. I'm not exactly taking damage, but it would help around heat vents and things. And air bladders filled again as well. Good. Let's see here. Because I need to find a total of 3 of these parallel processing units, or parallel processing unit fragments. And they're all kind of locked away in weird places, split amongst 2 pieces of this red ship. And I think this ship has 2 of them. Which means if I can get this, I am most of the way done with it. After that, it's mostly just finding the last piece and then building the module that I need to build. That is the one thing I miss about the Cyclops, is you can't use it as a mobile battery charger. But I did get I installed a mod for a portable sonar room. Alright, no problem at all, Waylord. I appreciate you being here for whatever time you could. Thank you very much. It was nice seeing you as always. And if you do end up going to sleep, I hope you have a very good night. Yeah. Hopefully soon. I do miss you when you're not here, man. You were one of the first people to come hang out with me, so it's always nice to have you around. Oh, I need that. Okay. I do need that, but I also need oxygen. Yeah, I feel you. Take what you can get, man. It might not be perfect, but 3 hours is better than nothing. I hope it is a restful 3 hours at the very least. Sometimes that's all we can hope for, right? Let's see. I don't remember where that thing I just found was. Was it up here? Yeah, see you later. Have a good night, friend. I hope you sleep well. Here it was. Okay. So if we go down here, there should be... Yes. I knew there was a second one in here. I know it doesn't mean anything, but it's kind of frustrating that this is the only thing that goes leftwards when you cut it. Everything else spins clockwise. That one spins counterclockwise as you cut. And I don't know why they did it that way. But it is somewhat frustrating. don't need that. Okay. That's already cut open. We're gonna get the heck out of here. So again, this was completely not what I came out here for. I just kind of stumbled across the ship by accident and decided to do it, which was not on the docket. I'm glad it worked out well. At least I think it worked out well, because right now I need to find my way out. Here we go. And there's my sea truck. I will say this every time, it saves my butt. Thank goodness for the air bladder. Genuinely, it saves me so often. So often. Alright. I need to find the floating islands. They should be pretty close here, to be honest. Because when I find the floating islands... What is screaming at me? It doesn't matter. It might be one of the giant shrimp, and I don't really care about the giant shrimp. Oh yeah, okay, this is where we are. In that case, yes indeed, we are right near the giant shrimp. I think technically they're called Chelaserae. Yeah, this guy. I'm going to do this just so I can, like, show Nat later how silly it is. But basically, this is what he tries to eat it, but he can't. He does a little bit of damage. And I can still just ram him. Especially because my ship is more mobile, I can literally just come punch him with it. And then it chases him off. Actually, I hope you eat that squid. Sailing Bandito left a comment on my YouTube video the other day, and he's like, wow, this game seems peaceful. And I mean, really it is. It's just, you can roadkill things if you so want. And it makes it much nicer than the other ones where you could not do that. And you had to, like, avoid them very, very carefully. You don't even need to get out of your ship to do it this time. You can just roadkill. Yeah, it doesn't matter. So, there should be another piece of technology up here. I think there's one inside these ruins. Or inside these rocks, I mean. And when I was talking the other day about how quickly you can get through this game, this is part of what I mean by it, is when you know where all of these alien relics are, you can just go straight to them. It saves yourself a lot of time. And because the game is so much less... I should actually prioritize getting some of these grown. But because the game is so much shallower, because the first Subnautica went down to about 2,000 meters. I think 1,900 was the deepest point. You had no chance of getting down there at all without submersible support. At least not without glitches. Or a lot of resources. But this one, for the most part, the deepest section you really need to go to is about like 500 meters deep, at least until the very end of the game, where you do need not even a prawn suit, but where you do need the sea truck. And outside of that, you don't really need it. You can just zip around the map without too much trouble. There is also a section on land that we'll need to get to reasonably soon. But that's not quite yet. So can I make an indoor grow bed? We'll have to see. I got these Chinese potatoes, so I want to start growing them right away. They are a good source of food, if not a good source of water. And I'll have to repair my ship as well, because I don't think the truck dock does that automatically. We'll see. I find it amusing that when this game first came out, there wasn't actually a way to dock the sea truck anywhere. So you just kind of had to leave it hanging out in the water. I'm glad that they put the animations in there now and gave you a proper sea truck dock. But it was amusing for a while that was all you could do. Here we go. Indoor grow bed. There we go. I'm gonna go put this like maybe. Can't put it there. I don't have a place to put this. I guess I'll put it here for now. I'm just kind of cramming everything in together, even though it shouldn't be. And hopefully those will grow. These can go into here. And I very specifically left this around 83% just to see if it would repair. I don't think it will. Oh, maybe it did. Cool. I didn't know this had auto repair functions. That's nice. Now I need to get this battery. And probably the other one as well. There we go. Battery management is always something a little difficult to deal with here. Oh good, the Chinese potatoes are still growing even if they were rotten. That's excellent. I need to find some food immediately. And I'm going to go use these plant clippings that I accidentally made as the food source. Mainly because I just want them out of my grow bed. They weren't meant to be here in the first place. I accidentally planted them. I had no idea you could grow them without the seeds. And so now I need to deal with them. And rather than just leaving all of these clippings to the water, eating them is perfectly reasonable. Not a great source of food, but it is a source of food. And honestly, knowing that you're able to do that is a huge benefit in an emergency. There have been a few times playing through Subnautica where, without knowing that I could do that, I would have been screwed. I am going to get rid of this depth module from the pin section here. Nickel ore, kyanite, plasteel. Alright. I don't really need this one quite yet. So I'm not going to worry about it. I think... Do I need to scan this? I don't think I need to scan this. How do I drop it? Can I not drop it indoors? Probably not. I guess they don't want you cluttering up your base too badly. There we go. I have no idea what to do with a depleted well, I'll put it into miscellaneous for now. Maybe I'll need it later. I think really it's just meant to go into the nuclear recycle bin, but I don't have that quite yet. I very rarely, if ever, use nuclear energy anyway, so it's not a big deal. Lots of power still. Battery's charging. Okay. We're gonna head back out. I still need to get that magnetite. I don't know why I didn't get it. Oh yeah, because I got distracted by the ship. Honestly, I may get that last piece of parallel processor technology as well, just to finish it off. It wouldn't be the worst idea just to get that out of the way. And it's pretty obvious finding the other half of, I think it's called the Mercury, is this big ship that's split into two. So we're going to maybe do that on the way. There's the other artifact over there too. This one is the scanning piece. I saw it a couple of times while I was looking for spiral clippings, spiral plants the other day, but I didn't have Alan at the time, so I didn't bother scanning it. I may as well now, I guess. Oh, unless it's taking me... Oh no, it is taking me to this one. Okay. This might be some more pieces of the aquarium module, which would be cool. There's also some scanner... Oh, fabricator. Okay. There's never anything wrong with having more titanium. Find a little lithium, that'd be good too. Battery! Hooray! It's a good find. Aquarium, here we go. This is kind of a funny one if we can get that module up and running. It's, as it says, it's an aquarium module, kind of like an alien habitat, except that as you drive by small fishes, it will suck them in and keep them contained for you. And that way, you just have a mobile, easy access supply of food. And it's very hilarious hearing it suck things in. Yeah, actually, if I can grab some more diamonds, I can make the reinforced dive suit, too. You know, it wasn't that long ago that I had convinced myself I was going to try and stop using filler words like and when I'm trying to think of specific things to say. I should really continue working on that. There are certain things that would be excellent to do, and that is one goal. Not an in-game goal, but an in-life goal. Alright, going to... I was just about to say again. I had to change it at the last moment too. That's leading me to a different relic than what I was looking at. Cool. And what's here? This looks like a piece of... Actually, let's save here. I don't think I'm going to die, but I need to save because the sea truck is pretty glitchy sometimes. Oh, I already had the docking module. Okay. No big deal then. Yeah, it looks like the sea truck docking thingy, the sea truck dock, actually did repair it as well. That's nice. I completely forgot to check again, which is why I'm realizing now that, yeah, the sea truck is at full health. Cool. And I did not grab this ion cube, but I should. Okay. I thought I was going to get more alien technology for that, but it's not. And again, you're welcome for having the audio off. I mean, no offense to the voice actors themselves, but the writing in this game is so awful that if I had it on, you would very much be thanking me for turning it off. Or you might be asking me to turn it off instead. Oh my goodness. Go. Because there should be one last piece of that parallel processing unit that I'm looking for. Here we go. Easy peasy. I was having more trouble not overcompensating in my movements than I was finding this box. There we go. And with that researched, we can finally make, not that it was all that long in making, a thing to disable the Alterra satellite. Where is it? Where has my disabler gone? Where can it be? Not the quantum locker. I don't think it even counts as a deployable. Here we go. Gold, silver, table coral. Test override module. Here we go. Cool. Ooh, power cell. Nice. That's a good find. And another battery. Excellent. This was super worthwhile coming in. Let's see. I still need lead. And in order to get that, I'm going to try and find my way back to that particular giant floating rock that I was looking for. What's this? looks like another piece of the scanning module that I've got. Oh no. That's not good. Okay, we're okay. Every time I pop out of there by accident, where I don't have the full animations, I get terrified that I've glitched the game. It never used to be a fear for me, because it was always very reasonable when that happened. Legitimately, you could just hop out and it was fine. But they've made like 2 different patches since then that have kind of broken that, and now the animation can glitch and you can just get stuck, unable to do anything else. And even saving and reloading doesn't help. Very, very frustrating when that happens. I have some inventory space. That's why I'm trying to save pretty frequently now, because I do not want that to happen and lose all of my progress again. Never hurts to grab a couple of diamonds on my way down here. And I could make the reinforced dive suit, I just don't really need to in order to scan this. I might take a little bit of damage, but not a heck of a lot. Okay. There we go, the recyclotron. That is a super handy piece of technology, because it lets me break down anything that's made or that I found into its constituent parts. And like all of them, not just one piece. So it is super handy when I find things in the world. Where is it? I think it's down in the base building pieces here. There it is, interior modules. And it's super simple to build too. My goodness. That'll be awesome. Okay. Yeah, I'll grab that other ruby too. No reason not to. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. We're good. The last time I tried to play Below Zero on stream, I had an interesting conversation with someone, because I actually thought the sea truck was like the biggest strength of this game. I thought it was a really fun addition, and I liked the modular concept of it. And this person that I was talking with thought exactly the opposite. He thought it was a huge downside for it. And I can absolutely see where he's coming from, because in replacing the Cyclops with this, you lost the ability to have it be exactly as you wish for a mobile base. You're very limited in what you're capable of putting in. And that can be super frustrating. For example, I did want, or I did love having mobile grow beds inside of the Cyclops, so that I just always had food and water handy. It was never an issue for me at that time. Now, however, not so easy anymore. And there are alternatives, but they're not quite as fun. Like you can make that that specific aquarium module that we just picked up the last piece for. Electric capacity tank. And that helps with food a little bit. But it is kind of frustrating that it's not as free-flowing, you know? Without the space to put things in. You can't place lockers inside the submarine. You can't grow food. You can't have interior grow beds in there. There's all kinds of things that we lost in exchange for having this cool different ship type. So while I certainly like it, and there are advantages to it, I can see why people wouldn't. Let's see here. Those. I'm gonna cook up this fishy into more water as well. And I guess I'll eat that. Perfect. If I can find a couple more, that sea truck horsepower upgrade will be huge. Because it will let me pull more modules along without going super, super slow. Which is absolutely a problem that the game has, or that the sea truck has. It's nice and mobile when you have 1 to 2 units on there, but as soon as you leave, it starts to, or as soon as you add extras, it slows down like you wouldn't believe. It's actually because of this area that I've been wanting to build the sea truck scanner module that I downloaded, the mobile one. Because finding everything in here is kind of a pain in the butt. It is a little labyrinthian. Sea truck afterburner. And just like mildly annoying. It's just frustrating enough to make you not want to be here. Because you think you found your last piece that you need for something, and it turns out it's completely different from what you were looking for. And you end up being like, well, why did I even come down here? I have found 12 things, and none of them are the second piece of what I was looking for. Sorry. I forgot my snares here. What a noise to make. Well, so much for my intro comment that this would be a nice, relaxing sleep video. It's not like this is even a scary game, it's just my own dumb self getting myself into trouble with that. Well. Found myself another alien relic, that's good at least. Because this one is kind of hard to find. What a stupid sound I made. What the heck was that? Ugh. I am very glad Grim wasn't here because she would be wanting me to make that a soundbite or just laughing her head off at me. Which, in this case, totally fair and justified. To be 100% honest, yeah, that would be justified today. That was an embarrassing sound to make. Alright, let's get my butt back up. And again, I've just kind of stumbled across that. I knew it was here, but I didn't know where here. There's 2 separate sections that I'm looking for. One is an Alterra lab that's positioned somewhere in here. What's this? Thermal reactor module fragment. Ooh, there is a thermal reactor for the prawn suit. I had actually forgotten that. Okay, cool. I should save right now. There we go. That way, if I glitch, I won't lose things. And I think this is down towards Mida's base if I keep going this way. So, because there's active lights here. Yeah, that's back down at Mercury's base. Okay. And I don't need to do that quite yet. I mean, I did see her earlier, but what I'm actually needing to do now is scan those. Yes, if I could. Is I can. Excellent. Oh, I guess I just had it already. I need to disable the Alterra satellite first. And then once that's done, I'll be able to talk to her again and get access to her indoor garden, which is one of the only places to really find good food sources on this planet. Other than fish, obviously. But for growing purposes, it's one of the few places where there's, like, good stuff that's rare and hard to find. This is what I mean by it's kind of frustrating down here. There's 1,000 pieces of everything, but it's difficult to find the ones you're looking for. Everything is concentrated in these stupid sea monkey nests. Which would be fine if they weren't spread out all over the place. Is that another one? That is another one, and I don't know what's in it. It looks like another exosuit module. Yep, which is just more titanium that I don't need. So I'm not going to scan it. I'm very quickly running out of space in my inventory is the issue. I still need room to get magnetite, and if I can find some, nickel would be great too. Because I believe there should be nickel hanging around on these walls. Oh, here we go. This is way down, I think. What's this? Is nothing. I've already scanned it. Okay. I need to find my way through a little bit more here. There we go. This is the way down. This is one of the areas that I absolutely hated coming when I started playing this game for the first time, because it's one of the few areas with this game's version of the Mesmers. And these ones are completely harmless, these things here. Completely harmless, cool-looking little creatures. And all they do, if you bother them, is disorient you. But I had such a bad time with the Mesmers from Subnautica 1 that I absolutely hated being here. Like, I just hated it. Now it's more of an acid trip than anything. And acid trips are fine in-game. I can live with that. Also, I got out there just specifically to show that effect off. Man, I am so far away. Leave me alone. There should be magnetite in here somewhere, which is what I'm looking for. But I will also pick up rubies and things as I find them, because they're necessary. I wasn't even that hungry. Oh well. That discus fish must have been more filling than I thought. Quartz, ruby, diamond. I don't need another diamond right now. I have lots of them, more than I need to use. I don't know if it's just my color blindness or what, but I find magnetite so difficult to see in here. It is extremely frustrating. Oh, I just drank the last sip of coffee. Okay. Every once in a while, I run into this extremely frustrating situation in life where, for no reason, I get an influx of little black flies. And I'm not sure if they're house flies or if they're fruit flies or what they are. They don't really do anything, but they buzz around and they feel annoying. Like they're gross. Is the best way to describe it. Is it makes me feel like I'm living in filth whenever there's bugs just flying around. And I know I'm not. Like I try and be a pretty clean person, but yeah, it's not pleasant when they're buzzing about. And so I try my best to kill them. One thing that used to work really well is a trick where you put, or where I would put, apple cider vinegar and dish soap, and I think maybe there was some sort of syrup or honey in there as well, and that works really well. I made the closest approximation to it that I could with what I had on hand, which was regular vinegar and syrup and dish soap. And I've caught a few of them, but there's a couple that are also annoying and very frustrating me. Because the way it works, if I remember correctly, is the syrup lures them in, and one second. The syrup lures them in, the vinegar actually kills them, but part of that too is that the dish soap forces the surface tension of the water, which means that they try and land on it like they regularly would, but they end up just sinking in, and then they're trapped. I remember it working really well, and so I do have one set up that's caught like 3 of them, but I think there's still 1 or 2 floating around in here. And as I said, super annoying. I will be very happy when they're finally gone. I don't think they live long, and they don't really have a source of food because I do try and be pretty clean about things. If they found something, I don't really want it. This is supposed to be Alterra. The voxel plants and the Jaffa cups. Ornamental plant. It is kind of a sad sentiment, but I mean, it's not that confusing a sentiment. That if your life is coming to an end and you know it, you might want a place of peace to think and reflect and be calm. I've talked about it a few times over the last few days playing Subnautica. But, oh, I think that's Nick. Oh. Ah! You again? Man. Well, at least that sound wasn't as embarrassing as last time. It did still catch me off guard, but at least it wasn't quite as embarrassing. I said again, my bad. But there is... I've talked about it a few times. There's this band I like called The Midnight, and one of the lyrics that I've really been thinking about a lot lately, I mean a lot, is that you try to make your peace with how the story ends. And that feels like such a good lyric. Because we always try and fight against things, or I guess as gamers we can always save and reload files if things don't go exactly according to plan. And so it's easy to get frustrated when things don't start going our way, or when they don't keep going our way. So the thought of just being at the end and having nothing you can do about that fact, except to try and make your peace, is interesting. It's kind of haunting for me. Because I know that as I'm getting older, so are my parents. So is my sister. And I'm the youngest child, which means eventually, quite likely, I'll be the last one of my family alive, and I'll just be waiting for the end. And I'm already kind of old to be looking for a significant other, which means I will likely die alone. And I think it's important to be able to come to peace with that fact. these. I know they're eggs, but I'm not sure what eggs they are. They might be this game's special eggs, the companion creatures. I don't care enough to pick them up, though, to be honest. Also, I'm sorry if you were watching this that took kind of a dark turn. It wasn't meant to. It wasn't meant to be depressing. It was meant to be more peaceful than anything. Because we were just in that area of the garden where, you know, it was meant to be peaceful. We were reflecting on the end. And I imagine things would be different if you've lived a long life too, but... Oh! Well, welcome, Nat. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you being here. I'm glad you are finally able to get your kiddo to sleep. It is important. Hiya. How you doing? Oh, sorry. Is this a little better? Is it hard to hear me in general? Oh, okay, gotcha. That's what's going on. Sorry, thank you. How's that? Is that better? Is the game too quiet now? I just want you to know, Nat, this is kind of your fault. You may not know it, but this is kind of your fault. Because I had to record that sound effect for you. I gave you that new button the other day. I don't know if you saw it. Hat Kid saying hi. So I had to turn it all the way up. Yeah, you must have missed that patch note. I gave you that button. There you go. I tried, but I couldn't find the sound clip individually. I had to find a video of all her sound lines and then go screen record it and upload it as a MP4. Yeah, well, you didn't. So it was slightly loud, and that's slightly your fault. And you know, Waylord actually stopped in earlier too, and he didn't tell me that. And Doug was here earlier, and she didn't tell me that. Man, you're the only one that told me there was an issue with my stream that was different. I am very sorry to everyone that's going to watch this as a VOD too. Yeah, that's slightly annoying. I would much rather someone tells me there's something wrong and feel like they've given me a minor inconvenience than I would continue with something to be wrong for a long time. Yeah. And I know sometimes it's frustrating for streamers because it's like they just want to get on with the stream, but they have to spend time fixing it, and they get frustrated when it's not working just as they think it's supposed to go, and so you feel like you're being a jerk for being picky about it, when really you just want them to like have a good time streaming. So I am appreciative that you told me much more than I would ever be annoyed by it. Yeah. Absolutely. I hate looking for magnetite. I can't distinguish it on these cave walls and ceilings. I know it's here somewhere, I just don't know where. I've been alright, thanks. I went out yesterday. I I told you that I wasn't streaming because there was so much construction outside. Thankfully, it's a lot quieter today, at least for the time being, which is nice. Oh, and I wanted to tell you my silly story, which I haven't told on stream yet, so yeah, it'll probably pick up later. It's not a long story, it's just a silly story. You know how occasionally when you're walking, someone that you don't really recognize will start waving from a distance away and you think they're super excited to see you? Well, I had a very similar situation. So, I live in a city with an above ground train system that we can use, and as I'm coming back home from taking my electric scooter out yesterday, I ride through a park, a really nice park, alongside the train tracks at one point, or I guess at a couple of points. So I'm coming out of the park at this certain junction where it runs parallel to the train tracks, and this mother and her daughter are walking the path, and they see me, and they pull to the side, which I'm assuming is getting out of my way. And I think the mother has just taught the daughter to be very polite. So the daughter starts waving at me, and the mother starts waving too. And I'm taken aback by this. I know I don't recognize these people, but I think maybe the daughter is just being super polite and trying to wave at me, right? So I try and make eye contact with the mother, and I point at myself quizzically, right? Like, is that for me? And the mother doesn't respond. She doesn't react. She doesn't shake her head. She just keeps waving with her daughter. And I don't know why, but I'm assuming, okay, maybe I'll wave too. And so I wave back, and then it dawns on me, oh, no, there's a train coming up behind me that the kid is waving to. And so I am a bit taken aback at my own foolishness and just ride right by them. But that was my silly story. I didn't realize they were waving at the train. But to be fair, I did try and check first. Like, I did point at myself, and the mother gave zero indication that it wasn't for me. Like, I was trying not to be the weirdo that just waves back to somebody he doesn't know for whatever reason, and just got zero feedback. That's fair. That's nice. I went a couple of weeks ago, actually. I went, I think I got a pizza. It was the first pizza I'd gotten in like 2 years. But as I went to pick it up, there was a school bus in front of me, and kids being kids, they were waving to the cars behind them, and I pulled up behind and they waved at me. But I am not a mature adult, so when they did that, I just started pulling faces at them. I just started making silly faces, sticking my tongue out, stretching my mouth wide, and like pulling the bottom skin of my eyes down. And of course that gets kids super excited when an adult actually starts playing with them. So she freaks out and she starts calling the other kids over from the back of the bus to look and see what's going on. So pretty soon I have like 4 or 5 kids looking at me, trying to pull faces just to get me to react to them while I'm trying to drive. It's a silly little situation, but it was fun. And then the bus driver changes lanes and the kids get all sad that I stopped playing with them because I gotta focus on what I'm doing too. We're no longer at a light, so I can't be playing around. I'm like, sorry kiddo, responsibility comes first. Yeah, it's fun. I think I told you, I really liked working with kids. One of my favorite placements was, because I had to do placements in my program to be a therapy assistant, And one of my favorites was working with preschool kids with mental disabilities. Or I guess learning disabilities is the better way to say that. And so they're like 4-year-old kids that are learning how to do the alphabet early, how to behave in a classroom setting, how to play with stuff. Things like training for sensations and projects, how to handle scissors, that sort of thing, right? But I really enjoyed that job. It was fun. It was easy because it was split into 2 portions of the day where we'd have a morning class, kind of like kindergarten. We had a morning class, and then we'd take our break, and then we'd have an afternoon class, just repeating what we went through that morning, basically. Just different challenges, different kids. And, oh boy, did they get me when I left. The teachers had come together and, like, gotten the kids to make me a card. And oh boy, they brought them all into the office, and I just started bawling because I didn't want to leave, and it was the sweetest thing. I do not have strong tear glands, I will say that. As sad as it is, I do not have strong tear glands. I can be very emotional sometimes. I still have water. I don't have water. I better go back up. I wish I didn't, but I do. Also, I had such a good time there that I wanted to make sure I left a good impression when I left. So I went out and I spent money on these really cool things. They were rainbow roses. And the way they made them is they would inject a different color dye into each petal of the rose. They weren't super expensive, but they were just flowers that would bloom with each petal being a slightly different color. It was really neat. I think I only paid like $1 each for them. No, it was more expensive than that. I think they were $8 to $12. But it wasn't a huge office, so I just got enough. It was nice, though. I liked them. Yeah, it was pricey. But it was one of those places where it's like, I was here on a placement, but I enjoyed this job so much that just in case I want to leave a really good impression, so if I come apply here, I get a foot in the door, right? And then as it turns out, I never did go apply there, which was unfortunate. Because I never thought I'd enjoy working with kids. But as it turns out, when they're not your kids and you don't have to live with the annoying, like, first year where all it can do is cry, kids are pretty cool. Kids are fun to play with. They're fun to teach. I don't think I would enjoy the very earliest parts. No, kids are really fun to teach. Sometimes they get frustrated, but like the little ones, generally they just want approval and they're happy to learn and they like when you play with them. And so as long as you can make things fun and you don't have to discipline them too often, they just love you. Like, the hardest part for me was when some of the kids would get a little too attached to me from playing with them, so I'd have to give them the cold shoulder so they'd go play with other kids instead. That was the hard part. Because I didn't want to do that. Kids don't know why you're ignoring them. They just want to come spend time with you. Oh. Well, I'm sorry you had such a rough day with him. I can't imagine that was a whole lot of fun for you. And I'm glad that it did get better too. Eat. There we go. "15 minutes of constant scream crying because I didn't do what he wanted." Yeah. See, that was the good thing about working with kids as a job. We usually got them during the fun parts of the day where they enjoyed that sort of thing, and then we could send them home to their parents and let their parents deal with the rest. I generally got the fun parts of that. Yeah, so it was really nice working with them. And like, no complicated concepts, nothing frustrating. Because they had disabilities, I got to do a lot of fun things with them. Like, I got to make an exercise where I got to draw and make a giant, like, child-size pig boy that you could dress using magnetic cutouts of the different pieces of his outfit, and then it would snap into place so you could dress him. That was interesting. That was fun. Or I made a sensation testing box with different materials hanging inside. They'd have to stick their hands in and like match what they were feeling from one side to the other. I had a lot of fun with it. It was cool. Sorry, I know it probably doesn't mean much, but I enjoyed it. It was a fun part of the job for me. I like getting to do those sort of cool things. Oh, I can actually put these over here. I am slightly frustrated that I didn't find any of the things down there that I needed to find, like the magnetite. Oh yeah. It is very true what they say that when you enjoy what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. Like, absolutely true. 100%. That I can understand. Yeah, when you have to meet expectations rather than just having fun. But I can imagine, for example, that... Hold on, I just need to think for a second. Where was it going? I guess maybe we can go on land. I was going to say, I can imagine there are some jobs that are fun just by nature, though. My main issue is making other coworkers that are not designers understand why things are done certain ways. That's fair. That is very fair. Yeah. Meantime, I was just about to say, like, I can imagine working as a demolition expert would probably always be fun. Unless something really bad happens, in which case you're not going to be a demolition expert for long. But either that or, like, working on a construction site as one of the heavy machine operators, where you get to use the cool giant machines to dig up holes and move dirt around and stuff. That seems like a fun job. Oh, I would love to do that. It does, yeah. Oh, speaking of, I got a message today from someone who is not my workers' compensation caseworker. You remember how I said when I went for those tests the other day, they didn't get a really good view because I was coughing so much? So this person who's filling in for my caseworker right now sent me a message today saying, hey, the results were inconclusive, meaning we need you to go talk to your doctor about oral sedation for next time. So you need to go schedule a new appointment, and then you need some sort of sedation. And it's like, well, that's not great for me, because remember, I don't sleep laying down because it feels like I'm drowning and I wake up unable to breathe. I don't know that I'd be safe to put under like that to go into the machine. The only reason I can get sedation dentistry is because when they're doing dentistry, they don't fully recline you at any point, right? Like, this is not going to end well, I think. So, I don't know. I gotta wait a little bit and talk to my regular caseworker. Well, they would, but the problem is I'm far from a hospital. It's a clinic that's not like a hospital clinic. It's specifically X-ray and lab services as a third-party company, right? So they have medical staff working there to run the machines, but it's not on like hospital property or anything. And I would be inside the machine, unable to tell them if things felt weird, right? Because if I'm unconscious, I can't let them know that I can't breathe or that it feels like I'm drowning, whatever the case may be. So I'd just be stuck in there for however long they needed, and that's terrifying to me. So I'm just gonna kind of wait for my caseworker to come back from his holiday. I think he's on a holiday. And then talk to him about that. Because I'd really rather not die. I think that's a fair thing to say, is I don't really want to die just to get a brain scan. And granted, the chance might be low, but low is not zero. That's still a scary thing for me. Well, thank you, Nat. I appreciate that. I tolerate you guys too. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I was just being silly. Oh, speaking of, you might get a giggle out of the... Hold on. You might get a giggle out of the fact that I did run into two of those creatures I was telling you about the other day, the ones that look like plants, and then they get access to you when you're not paying attention. Yeah. I ran into two of those today, and the first time I completely, like 100% forgot it was there, so I made the stupidest sound, shouting in surprise. Like, you wouldn't believe the stupid sound I made. It was just awful. If I think about it, I'll go through afterwards and I'll see if I can find that spot again and make a clip of it, because it was really, really silly. Alright, I need this thing. Table coral, gold, silver. Gold, silver, and then should I have table coral in here? I do, good. I will do my best to go through and find it. I will have to remember where it is. There we go. And I gotta find a piece of lead somewhere. Grim has been, she's been playing a different game all day, Space Jumper, I think it's called. She and Anvil were playing with someone else, Eyebones, I think is his name. Which, I'm just kind of sad. Whenever she streams, she's not here, and, like, I miss my friends. Gotcha. Well, I miss my friends when they're not here. And I know people have lives, so that's okay. But I do still miss you guys when you're not around. It is nice having you all. And like Doug had to go to bed early, and Waylord stopped in for a minute, but he was so exhausted he had to go to bed. And of course he probably couldn't hear me very well. I was trying to talk to him, but with the way my mic was acting up, or rather with the game volume being so high, I wonder if he could even hear me 90% of the time. And he said nothing about it. Yeah. So I'm really happy at least we're able to come hang out for a while, Nat. I appreciate you being here. You're here quite often, and I really do like having you around. I appreciate that. I know you could be doing your own streaming, but it's nice to have you. Actually, speaking of streaming, have you been playing any of... Yeah. I totally get it. That's not a problem at all. But have you been playing any more Tears of the Kingdom off stream? I am curious if you found the start to that quest with the Thunder Isles. The ones we were looking for at the end of your stream the other day. Because I genuinely have no idea how to start that quest, and it's making me want to go play just so I can figure it out. That's fair. That's fair. Well, it was just curiosity. Birthday prep? Oh, because it was your husband's birthday the other day, and then it's your son's birthday coming up? If I'm right? Yes? Not 100% sure, I'm just thinking of it. Gotcha, gotcha. I imagine that one will be pretty exhausting. I have mentioned it before, I don't do birthdays, but by the same token, I can imagine it will be a lot of chaos and a lot of other children around. Yeah, I bet that would be frustrating. Oh, that's fun. You know, interestingly, I found a video the other day about these new like Meta glasses, like Facebook glasses. And one of the cool things about them is because all this technology and this augmented reality stuff is getting improved now, they can actually real-time subtitle conversations for you on the lenses. Yeah, not just translation so that it speaks, but real-time subtitles on your lenses. And the video I was watching made a very good point of, I don't trust Meta with my data, so I wouldn't use them. But by the same token, it is still interesting. It's cool. There we go. There are a lot of pieces of technology that are interesting, but I wouldn't use myself. Like, they've got those brain implant chips now from Tesla. Yeah, I get it. I get you. And that's fine. I would totally understand that. But, like, I think those brain chip implants that you can control devices with your brain are pretty cool too. I wouldn't get one myself under any circumstances, but they are pretty cool. I think the fact that we can interact with devices like that just using our brain now is pretty interesting. Yeah. Cool concept. Never gonna get one myself. Although I did see a video the other day that was also pretty cool of a kind of biotechnology they're working on where, what was it? They created a bionic leg where they went in and they reconstructed a person's leg muscles so that they could put nodes in it and the muscles would still function as if the leg was still attached. So the leg would work normally because the muscles were still getting the signals from their brain. And it was a prosthetic leg, like it was mechanical. But apparently the results were just tremendous. Yeah, it was a cool thing. And I like that kind of medical technology because it always seemed weird to me that our brain sends out electrical signals. Why couldn't we just pick up those signals and amplify them for motors and things to make things work properly? That seemed like the most natural idea in the world to me. Science can be fun, yep. And you're specifically I think you said structural design engineer? I think it was structural design engineer. I don't remember exactly what your title was or what your degree's in. Industrial designer, okay. So you probably went way deeper into the sciencey side of things than I have. I mean, mine is more on the biological side of things, so it's not exactly like I'm an idiot in science, but yeah. Okay. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool either way. Status report. Where do I plug this thing in? Nice. Whoop. Here we go. That's cool. That's cool. One thing that I would love to do is, if I had those kind of skills, I mean, is I do a decent amount of work with GIMP, and formerly I used to do a lot of work with Photoshop as well. And there are certain things that I do over and over again, like very repetitive tasks. So, for example, putting the effects onto the numbers for my thumbnails, I apply several effects one after another, and I'd love to be able to write like a script or something, or just make a single button that would run through all of those processes at once in a row, and that way I wouldn't have to individually figure things out. I wouldn't have to do them step by step. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. I just think it would be a cool thing to be able to do. And Photoshop did get expensive, especially because you can't just buy the products anymore. Now you have to rent the license to them.
Blueprint synthesized.
But equally frustrating is the fact that now, even if you rent the license, because you're just renting it, they technically own everything you produce and can use it however they want without paying you. And that's just pretty scummy, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know if you knew that. in the actual terms and conditions for Adobe now, you agree to let them own everything that you make on their products. So if you make something, it's on their servers, they've been seeing you make it the entire time. If they want to use it, they can just use it. You have no legal rights to it because you signed those rights away by using the program. Yeah, it's absolutely stupid. Insane. Yeah, it's done. Very, very dumb. Alright, what time is it? Okay, it's an hour and 21 minutes. I'm gonna go back to my base. And then I think I will call it a day here. Or I guess call it an episode. And tomorrow I will be back. Probably a little too late for Nat because it's in the evening for her. But I will be back tomorrow with Raft. About this time, actually, I will be starting Raft tomorrow. So, if anybody is watching on the VOD, I hope you can join me. I would love to have you there. And otherwise, thank you very much for hanging out, Nat. I always appreciate your company. And I hope you have a good day. I will see you next time. Thank you. I enjoy Raft. I'm coming up on some cool stuff. Oh, just in time for ads to start too. Okay. See you later. Oh, I see Zaid was here too. Thank you, Zaid. Alright. Yeah. I'll just call it a day for now. I did save. Yes. Okay. Catch you next time.